Determine a linear function using point-slope form. Now, let's refresh. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where, again, m is the slope and x1, y1 is a point on the line. Okay, so let's find the equation of the line given. Okay, well, let's see here. I have 2 points. I have -1, -3, and I have the point 3, 1. So I can first find the slope, and I'm going to use the counting way. So I'm going to start over here and say, well, to get up to this one, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is 4 over 4, which is just 1. Okay, I can use either one of these points. I am a big fan of positive when I can get it, so I'm going to use the point 3, 1 and my slope of 1. Okay, so I'm going to use 3, 1 and my slope is 1. You could use either point. I'm just choosing to use the one that has the positive numbers. Now I'm going to need point-slope form because I have the point and I have a slope, right? This is not complicated. Point, slope, that's what you have, that's what you use. Y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. Let's plug in what we have. Y minus, my y value is 1. Oops, no parenthesis needed. Equals slope, my slope is 1, times x minus x1, which is 3. Now, generally we distribute, but distributing by 1 changes nothing. Right? Because 1 times x is x, and 1 times -3 is -3. Last step, I add 1 to both sides, and I get y equals x minus 2. Now, if they're talking about a function, sometimes they want that to be in function notation. So you would write that as f of x equals x minus 2. Because remember that f of x simply means this is a function of the input variable x, which a lot of times we say is just the same as y. F of x represents the output for this function, and in this case, our y equals x minus 2, y represents the output of the function. But if they say function and you see an f of x, that's what it means. Let's do another one. Let's find the equation of the line given. So again, I have the points -2, 3, that's up here, and this point down here is 1, -4. If you like to find slope through 2 points by like doing that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, I mean, by all means, please do. I like to count. I find it easier. So I start at my left point and I'm coming all the way down here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I went down 7. And then 1, 2, 3. I went right 3. So my slope is -7/3. That's ugly. That's fine. We can play with fractions. Okay, so we know our slope is -7/3, and we have 2 points, -2, 3, and 1, -4. Well, they're both ugly, so I'm just going to choose the first one. Okay, so y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Again, we're using point slope because that's what I have, a point and a slope. Okay, so let's plug in what we know. Y minus y1, y1 is 3, equals my slope, -7/3, times x minus x1, which is -2. Whoop, whoop. Notice 2 negatives. X minus -2, that is the same as x plus 2. And now we distribute. Okay, so on the left, I still have y minus 3, and on the right, I take -7/3 times x, -7/3 x, and then I take -7/3 times 2 over 1. Nothing cancels, so I just go straight across, and I have -14/3. Okay, so far, so good. Now I am ready to add 3 to both sides. Okay, so on the left, I'm left with y equals, and I have -3/7/3 x, but now I'm going to have to play with fractions. So -14/3 plus 3 over 1. Well, I need common denominators, so it's going to be a 3, right? So 1 times 3 gave me 3, so I do the same to the numerator, and 3 times 3 gives me 9. So denominator of 3, I add across. Negative 14 plus 9 is negative 5. So I'm going to have minus 5/3 as my y-intercept. Let's do one more for fun. Find the linear function with a slope of negative 4 passing through the point 7, negative 3. So we're just going to plug it in, right? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so y minus negative 3 equals negative 4 times x minus 7. Whoop, whoop. Two negatives. So that's the same as y plus 3. I can distribute. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 7 is positive 28. Last step, subtract both sides by 3, and we get a negative 4x plus 25 in slope-intercept form.